just getting to know. I've been the last obviously the last couple of weeks have been a bit of a whirlwind. Relationship to where I grew up and the Cal, some similarities, some not.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest similarity is that the Cal in relationship to Chicago and where I grew up in Centerport and Green Lawn, New York, as relationship to New York City. So there's the perfect correlation, and it's almost the same proximity. So there's lots of similarities. I will say that the corn crop is very different in Centerport and in Green Lawn than it is here, obviously, in DeKalb. But the people, just going into the local grocery store or for me the Dunkin' Donuts or what have you, it's very similar. Good people, good hardworking people. Obviously, there's a key family-friendly element that I see that very similar to Long Island, very similar to Madison, Wisconsin too. So those are key components. Hardworking folk, invested into the NIU community, as well as a real family-friendly environment. So those were key components of my transition or my quest or my look for a next opportunity, and NIU hit it on all levels. It was great. Every season, every year at Alabama, the expectations are what they are, and that's to win a championship, and to play at the highest level, and to win hopefully a national championship. I tell you, that was from an experience standpoint and a student athlete experience standpoint, bar none, was really shaped the way as a former coach and as an administrator how I'd want the student athletes to experience. So I walk into it with high expectations of the coaches, high expectations of the staff to make sure they provide a quality student athlete experience. So it was a spectacular opportunity for me to kind of go through and to be a part of Alabama and the Tuscaloosa community. So it definitely shaped who I am today. It was interesting because I had most of my career as a student athlete and as administrator prior to the three athletic director positions that I held were at state institutions. At the University of Maine, I spent close to 6.5 to 7 years. Again, public institution, land grant, obviously dedication and support for the local economy, the local people. So, being at Manhattanville College, Clarkson University, and Merrimack, all private institutions, so I'm a bit of fish out of water, understanding. Now, some things were different from a bureaucratic standpoint, but overall, when I transitioned from Merrimack to Wisconsin, it was home. It was a clear fit for me. I remember that first day and just being apart from the parking situations to the public scrutiny to the overall expectation. Obviously being the state capital, there was some other dynamics that I was familiar with. So that transition actually went the easiest of my career. And obviously the only thing that was different is that I wasn't the athletic director. But I was working for someone that quite frankly treated me in a situation where I had complete control and oversight. So it really didn't change from that, but it definitely the fit issue for me was fantastic. It was a great fit. Well, we had this relationship of taking coaches from NIU, and the part of my job is to evaluate talent, coaching and staff. We sent some administrators down here. I think Amanda Bazine came down as well. She talked, and we still tweet back and forth, and she's out, I believe, at the WAC conference right now. So from an administrator, from a coach, obviously Dave Dorn, we had a number of folks that, Kathy Bennett, who had been up on staff, she's our head basketball coach. So you could see the relationship. It's just back and forth. So you can help be on the radar. It's part of who we are. So that energy level, when you want to win, you want to have the right type of staff, you keep those institutions close. Something must be going right here at NIU. So that was on the radar, and then obviously the success. The MAC championship, the BCS, the longstanding football tradition. So those are great things, and it was just kind of, looking at them a little differently over the years, but I also had some great colleagues. Jim Phillips, who had been the athletic director here, and obviously being at Northwestern right now, so I had a chance to really evaluate NIU on a lot of different levels. It wasn't something that was sneaking up on me, and when the opportunity came open, I said, you know what, I really like to pursue that opportunity. I'd like to know a little bit more. Just didn't know President Baker. He was the final piece for me, and he's been fantastic. Just his energy, his leadership skill. So that was the only piece of the puzzle I did not know. I didn't know the president. Once that was in place, I was all in. Well, all of the programs in their own right. Obviously from my perspective, looking at sports across the board, from gymnastics to baseball to basketball, to soccer, all the sports. I'm a sports nut. I enjoy being involved. I'm a former athlete. In my mind, I think I can still run, catch, and tackle. Those days are gone. But being a former intercollegiate athlete, I'm a fan of competition. I firmly believe that that athletics is a tool of education. So I watch all of the sports in their own right, and I see greatness academically and athletically. So I'm not going to single out a sport. I'll just say that all the different successes in the MAC championships that the folks have won, being competitive, were one that when I evaluated the programs and I evaluated NIU as a possible opportunity, they hit all the buttons. So basically, they all do a very good job, and I'm excited to be involved with them. Yeah, well, as part of the challenge, obviously, programmatic success and sustaining programmatic success is, the real hallmark of a great overall program. Okay, having success, going to bowl games, going to MAC champion, winning MAC champion, all those things are things that, as an administrator, that's what drives me every day. Obviously sitting down, obviously with both, men's and women's basketball programs, same thing with football, baseball, all the programs. You want to be able to position the coaches and the students in a way where they can be successful. So you're right, sinking my teeth in, all right, what do you need? How can I be successful? There's some things that we need to do around facilities, support, and resources, making sure that, class schedules, and just everything that goes into putting together a championship program. Scheduling, I can go on and on. There are all these different criteria that have to be in place. But yes, looking at it, I'm very optimistic moving forward. Obviously on the men's basketball side, same thing with the women's basketball and all the sports in particularly. But looking at those programs, I know that the coaches are hungry. I know student athletes are. They're raring to go, and any way that I can add value as they move forward, I will do. Yeah, I think that that's a game changer. I said that in my press conference. I said that to a number of alums, both at the media days and different places I've been at. I think this is great. I just came back from viewing Husky Stadium and taking a look at different things and different options. So I'm going to bring that to the table. I spent a lot of time around facility development, construction from design to actual implementation and operation. So I'm excited. That's something that who I am as an administrator. I think that we have a great basis to do some things. I think that we will do more things. Obviously, a facilities master plan is really the key on how I operate. Basically, what that does for us is that it prioritizes our needs. Okay, there's needs and wants. Okay, needs, obviously, we want to go there first, and wants, then we'll fold that in based on priority structure. But a facilities master plan will be developed. It'll be in conjunction with the campus. We'll work with the president. We'll work with, obviously, other decision makers to make sure that we put together a really comprehensive plan in that. I think that's key. As you can see, we like to build around here. I think it's important that we continue to do that. I never believe that you can just stay still. Either you're moving forward or you're moving back. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to add that right away. I'm excited about that. It's something that I think I can come in and do right away. And